This episode of Nintendo Pod Block is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to learn how to support our family of podcasts, head over to patreon.com/bossrushmedia or search for us on the Patreon app on your smart device. Thanks for helping us build something better. Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Direct Recap Edition for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom official trailer number 3. That is a lot of words because this trailer was more than just 3 minutes long. It had so much to it that people are still going back trying to find out what is this game really about. And just laughing and just like, what can I do in this game? So everybody, last time when we reacted and talked about the game, Anuma came out and showed us some gameplay. And you know, that's very exciting around the time of PAX. But today, at the time of this recording, or the day of this recording, Nintendo released the official trailer, the final trailer before the game comes out May 12th. Joining me on this episode is Shane Kelley.
Hello. How are you?
And Stephanie Klimov.
Hello, hello.
You know these guys, they are from another Zelda podcast and from Boss Rush. How should we get into this? Because Stephanie, you hit me up. Of course, we're going to get into Ganondorf. Trust me, we're going to get into him. But Stephanie, you responded just like, okay, Ed, we need to do a react. What was your thoughts after you seen the trailer?
I was... See, I don't even have words. That's the thing. So, like you mentioned, when Anuma did the demo, I'm like, okay, that's gameplay. So at least 50% of the Zelda fans are satisfied because 50% of the Zelda, and that's just, making up a number, are in it for the gameplay and they like that kind of sandboxy, creative, let's put Hyrule together, do whatever you want thing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still that other half, and I am one of the half from like, where's the story? And I know that some people have complained, especially with the time, how long everything's been taken. But at the same time, when we really look at everything and the steps that Nintendo's taken, this doesn't really surprise me. They like to give little tiny bits. They really like hold on to the lore and the story with ironclad intensity, and then they just drop it at the very quote unquote last minute. So with all of that being said, after I watched this trailer, I'm like, okay. Before, I was just excited because I will always be excited for any Zelda game. This trailer was, now I'm beyond basic excited. Now I'm ecstatic, and I didn't get much work done for the rest of the day. And it's tough because it was 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. So everybody's working or doing their thing. Well, I was working, but like, who was I going to talk to about it?
Right.
Shane, what was your thoughts with this?
So, it was like probably around 7:55, and I'm like, okay, I know that the trailer's gonna come out. I gotta just, take a little break and turn on YouTube here. And of course, at that time, more people came over to ask me questions, and then half hour goes by, 45 minutes goes by, and I'm like, well, I guess I'll just watch it on break. So I watched it on break, and I watched it probably 4 times. The trailer itself, it mimicked Breath of the Wild's trailer in
The
so many
2017.
ways,
Yeah.
but twisted it, and it kind of reminded me of the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask type thing. You're taking similar assets and manipulating it into something else, and so the music was twisted, the scene setups were twisted, even where they stopped shots and they started shots, all mimicked that of the Breath of the Wild trailer. So, but I enjoyed it thoroughly, and loved the voice acting. And then Oh my gosh, I just everything about it was what I was hoping for, and along with Stephanie, I too don't. The last video was cool and all that, and sticking things together reminded me of Banjo Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted story. I wanted some more substance, and we got that today. So
So I was watching the trailer, and the first thing, just hearing the music and seeing the scenery, and I kind of laughed because the Zonai was trying to cut the tree, and it's like,
yep,
and so it was just like little things like that, and then Link dropped in, and I was just like, oh my goodness, going for a cinematic camera views, which reminds me, and I forgot to tell you guys this. What popped in my mind now, just a few minutes when I was watching the trailer again before we was recording. It reminds me of the goddesses in Ocarina of Time when they
Oh.
hit down and they hit the Triforce of Split.
oh
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Now
I
that
was
you
just
say
like,
that,
oh my goodness, this is I didn't even realize it. Like, I think Corey mentioned that there was Twilight Princess stuff in it.
yeah,
The three dragons that was in this when somebody pointed it out, I was just like, oh my goodness, that is the Legend of Zelda for the NES.
yeah.
Like, there's
Mm.
so many little bits here
Oh.
and there. And like Stephanie, you told me about the little tear thing.
Mhm.
Because I think you said it was what, Skyward Sword,
Well,
I
it looked
believe.
like the amber from
The
Skyward
amber,
Sword,
yeah,
but it's really the tear, and I know we'll get into the shop, but in a previous trailer that showed, like, kind of like that artistic scroll that we couldn't make 2 cents, of it,
Yes.
that figure with the 7 things, we're like, "What's that?" That's the shape of the tears, and you see if you slow the trailer down a little bit, you see more than one.
Uh, which could probably bring in more dungeons now. Because we will get to that. Listening to the music, I was talking to Dan when we was in the writers chat, and I said, Dan, this feels like Monolith Soft did some Xenoblade Chronicle Nest music arrangements, but yet it's all Zelda. Oh, if Symphony of the Goddess don't have a part two for this game, I'm gonna
Mhm.
have a situation at the end. I
Yeah.
already talked to my friend Chad because someone be like, "We need the soundtrack. We need the
Yep.
soundtrack to this game right now." Uh,
Absolutely, and,
hmm
when it's the what is it? The end of the year, what's that thing? The Game Awards? What's that thing?
yeah,
yeah,
I wanna see Flute Guy come back and participate in playing the
yes,
Tears of the Kingdom music.
yeah,
yes. He is a must. We'll have to put that out on the on the Twitter. Be like, Flute
At
Guy,
Flute
we
Guy.
need you to make a reprise. Um, but I left this trailer just saying there's so much to unpack, and we still don't know enough. Um, and man, I just can't believe Nintendo was able to once again get away with still not giving us what the story is. Now, I will say this. I think when Link is trying to save Zelda after she falls off, I feel like that tear that she had transported her to another dimension or another area because she's like, Link, I need you to find me at the end.
Mhm.
Um, and it feels like she's somewhere but not in Hyrule, which now brings the part where I guess Lincoln was falling, like it was in this blue space area, and then this monster comes out of this portal and it clips to another scene. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. There were just so many story beats and ideas that's gonna be in this game. I really don't. I still don't know what the game is going to reveal as
Yeah.
like with story with gameplay. Because when Link got on that little rocket and shot up, I'm like,
yeah.
oh, this is
I
about
was
to
like,
be
"Oh, wow."
crazy.
Mhm. Yeah, I did not partake in that, art book leak, a
Hmm.
while back. I'll watch trailers, but I won't look at leaks. But a YouTube breakdown of the trailer did say, if you saw the leak, you would have known who one of the characters was in the trailer. So I'm glad I didn't, because you're right,
Mhm.
Ed. This trailer showed so many new things that are story related, yet at the same time didn't really give away the whole story. Like, it's
Hmm.
like when I was writing my article, I'm like, I'm still making up theories. Like, I actually still really don't know. So that's a good sign.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shay, I want to ask you, when you saw the people fight with Link, um, in Hyrule, do you think that is going to be a vital part of this game?
Well, I do think I believe that might have been a cutscene, but I do hope, and from what you hear from the trailer, you kind of hear like Sidon and some of the other characters in there uh, mention that they're going to assist or help. So I'm hoping that maybe a two-player comes into play where you can have somebody fight alongside you in maybe like a Hyrule Warriors style towards the
Mm.
like castle or wherever you're going, just as like an optional thing. Because that would be kind of cool if you could jump in and out of gameplay with a second player at certain points. Um, to me, I still like my single player Zelda, but if my kid's next to me or my wife, I'm gonna like, yeah, grab a controller, let's play this for a little bit, because I know my wife's excited for the game. This will be my daughter's official first Zelda game to
Oh.
play, and she was excited to see the trailer. I said, "Hey, I guess who's in this trailer?" She's like, "Who?" And I said, "Ganondorf's in this trailer." And he's like, "Oh, that bad guy?" And "Yep." And we watched the whole thing, and she was like, "Oh, we're gonna get him."
Oh.
So, yeah, I do think we're gonna see a slightly different approach on some battles in here. Maybe it might be just simulated as you're walking through, but I do hope there's going to be more interaction with NPCs, and maybe you can assist helping to clear out an area as you go
Hmm.
along, or maybe if you come across certain people, if you help them, they can help you later on, because later on you do see like the guy with a bucket on his head and some other people next to you. Maybe this could be like a recruitment for your town that you might be able to build,
Hmm.
and maybe
Oh,
these guys will help you, and you can maybe help level them up or give them better weapons to help you. I don't know. Maybe it's
thoughts?
a whole other style of gameplay. Maybe you got to protect your town, and you got to keep these NPCs in the town to protect your stuff. I don't know. That would be pretty sweet.
Okay, so I gotta ask you guys thoughts about the said area. Sorry about that,
Yeah, yeah.
because it looks like that's got a lot of secrets. When there was like these sand traps with the sand falling, and it looked like a
Hmm.
building was or a castle was coming out the sand. Do you think that that is a dungeon?
Well, I think, well, two things. First, I'm pretty sure that was had Zonai symbols on it, so I think it's a Zonai structure. However, I do think that that area where the sand was sinking might be like Arbiter's grounds, and I do think it might be connecting to Twilight Princess and other things, and maybe that's an underground area that we saw. Maybe that is a dungeon. Um, I don't know. There's just so many possibilities. And another thing is that side quest in Breath of the Wild with the, was it the Seven Sisters
Hmm.
Mhm.
Seven warrior, yeah, something
or
like that.
something like that, or Seven Maidens or something of the saying?
Yeah.
Um, I wonder if they're related to the Seven Tears somehow, and uh, how that might incorporate into there. And I also, in one of the scenes, you see Link gliding through like a narrow passage.
Hmm.
That almost looked like the maze, one of
Labyrinths.
the labyrinths in the desert area. So I don't know what to expect.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's possible that they could be dungeons. because it's hard to say if a dungeon would be Zonai based or non-Zonai based or
Mhm.
both. So A, it's possible. B, for me with the sinkholes, I think it just is another one of the many shots where I do feel like there's underground. Now, in Anuma's preamble, he said, land and sky. So I do feel like 90% of it is going to be on land and in sky. But there's clearly some shots where, maybe not clearly, that looks underground or underneath
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
something. So,
Like
Cause
like
like that, the one shot when they're on the rail, the train rails, go the
mhm.
mine
yeah,
rails, I should say,
yeah,
and they're going. I'm like, okay, first of all, this is not no shrine kind of puzzle or fight or anything. This is some Resident Evil 4 nonsense that I'm here for.
yeah, yeah.
What is going on in this? Because I think it's not the Garrido. Is it? No, not the Garrido. Um,
The Gorons, like
Runs.
the
the
Goras,
around
Yeah.
Death
because they
Mountain
had.
area. Yeah.
Yeah, because it looked like there's some heavy stuff in there, and I don't think it was fleshed out a lot in Breath of the Wild
Hmm.
compared to what they were showing in this trailer
Yeah.
and stuff.
Well, they show that other shot where Link's running in his that armor underground and lava's
Yeah,
coming from the ceiling. So I do think maybe you're gonna approach Death Mountain because you do see those like red, you know, tendrils coming out of the top of the volcano. Maybe it's corrupt and maybe you got to go in there and clear it out. So that would be really interesting. So
yes. Okay, we got to talk about what probably one of the most funny part. Link on that big stone statue about to fight the other statue.
Oh yeah.
Stephanie, what was your thoughts when you seen this?
I laughed. It just looked too silly, but at the same time, like, you know what? That's probably exactly the kind of structure I would make. So there you go. This is where I know that there's some people that are gonna make some really elaborate stuff. I mean, there's another scene where Link shoots an arrow and it activates some sort of like freaking rotating laser. Imagine if you attached it to that
Yeah.
thing. So I don't know, and I've already started seeing memes about that. What you're talking about, Ed?
it's like a disco ball.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Hmm.
It reminded me of Robot Wars when I saw them going towards each other. I'm like, it's
Well,
funny.
like I said, this is it looks like they was inspired by Labo to put this idea in the
Mhm.
game.
Oh
Because
yeah, absolutely.
with the little art coming up and trying to stab, I was just like, oh, Nintendo had to. I know they were just like, oh, we got to make put some comedy in this while still yet being
Hmm.
serious. So
Yes.
okay, let us get into we're in our hot villain era with Nintendo. Because first we got Bowser and with his song Peaches from the Mario movie and Jack Black voicing him. Ganondorf?
I am so happy that the rumors or theories were true from the very first teaser trailer. Because, it was like, is
Yeah.
it demise or Nintendo could totally be pulling the rug from underneath us? But it was not only clearly Ganondorf looking, but Nintendo did confirm afterward with official artwork. And
Yes.
Yeah, he very daddy. Very
He
daddy. I was just like,
he's
uh,
he's a good combination between all the Ganondorfs we've had. He looks,
yes.
yeah,
yes.
he's like a Wind Waker, Twilight Princess Ganondorf. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I was pretty excited to see him. Um, Double earrings, like that's
Yeah, and I mean, maybe it's because voice acting is now in it, but
yeah.
Yes.
he's clearly like way quote unquote more ruthless. I mean, he was always ruthless, but it just the voice acting adds to it because again, previous trailers
Hmm.
leave no survivors. Like this, ooh, this guy. I mean,
And he sound what his voice sound like something from Fire Emblem, I think.
Yeah, I believe his voice
M-
actor
Matt
has done
Mercer.
something. Yeah,
It's Matt Mercer.
Okay.
and
So
I don't I don't know if you guys. So I don't know your thoughts on this, but the Blood Moon. Do you think somehow his all these mining minions of his have dug deep enough under the castle to allow the Blood Moon to shine on his corpse to become reanimated? Is that why he's
So
rising?
so
I don't.
I don't think so. Whatever that stuff, that ooze, that purple or black ooze stuff is kind of like coming back. I don't know what it is.
Malice.
So Malice, I think that's
Yeah.
it. Because whatever hand is holding Ganondorf right there, um, really kind of felt like that is the thing that was holding them down. But because that goop or the malice is coming out, that raises up the castle and everything. Because that stuff also takes the master sword and the arm. And now I'm confused about the master sword now, because we know that it's broke, but in the cutscenes they were just like the master store was full. So I wonder if there's gonna be flashbacks when Link got the master store to remember. And then it just like whatever happened to it broke it.
Maybe Zelda is in a different area that requires the tears to reforge the Master Sword because of the malice. And somehow, when Link unlocks something, the tear is unlocked for Zelda to use to reforge the Master Sword for Link to fight Ganondorf.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I I feel like they are split. There's two. There's
There's
either
something, whether
a
it's two different times, like there's a time
timelines or
mechanic or a different
because
world or something.
I keep thinking about like Skyward Sword. You were able to travel through the portal, to different times, and or like even the Twilight Princess mirror, you're able to
Mhm.
travel to the Twilight realm. There's got to be other mystical items or magical items that allow you to traverse the lands, and there's got to be just some way for them to connect between those two. So I don't know.
But just
It's a lot of speculation.
one more quick thing about Ganondorf, which technically connects to other people. Remember how we talked about the tears? His was the hardest for me to pick out, but I guess what's on his forehead is a tear. So I'm like, okay, did he get his hands on it and that's what's helping power him up next to the blood moon or not? Because we also have Zelda has that yellow one. I saw a snippet of Sidon at some point has one.
Yep.
Tiba's son has one. I forget if Riju has one or not. I couldn't really see. Like you have to really be good with blowing things up. So like it seems like a lot of key characters at some point, at least with the champion descendants, maybe later in the game, they each have a tier.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right. Because that was another thing with the champions. Like the I guess for all four, well, we have new champions
Yep.
Hmm.
with this one. But we also had the young princess from the Gerudo village. Like she's a little bit grown up now, with her electric blades. Um, she'll probably definitely be playing a part in it. And I'm just
Hmm.
I wonder. There was I guess it's the there was some girl who it looked like she put her hands out and like this big light blast was coming and stuff, and people were trying to compare, oh, that's the new Zelda or something like that, and I'm like, no, her skin tone is different. They would never
I
change Zelda's skin tone.
The only thing I thought of like right away was Link Between Worlds with was it
Hilda,
Hilda? The only thing I could think of is maybe she's from the Dark Realm,
that
and
yeah, that shot next to the shot of the zone, what might be a Zonai person, was one of the most
Hmm.
stunning for me because at first I'm like, Hylia? No, I don't. I'm not sure if I buy into the Hylia theory, but if you look at Zelda, Zelda's wearing these white earrings, same as this more Tanner figure. They're
yep,
both wearing Zonai trapping. So I'm
and they
like,
both have the princess
right. So I'm like,
that little
does
gem on
Zelda
top
have
there.
to transform or combine with, or is there something happening? Because there's just way too many parallels down to the earring.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe
There's
maybe she's
just
maybe she's becoming Zonai.
Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Hmm.
So cause I now wonder what happened. What happened with the Triforce? Is it
Mm.
Yeah, I
now not part? Because the thing about it, this would be like kind of the third revision um of the series, where kind of with the earlier Zelda games you had the Triforce, but they were broken into seven pieces,
yeah,
or eight pieces. um Next, the Triforce got changed to three to represent wisdom, power, and courage, I believe.
yeah, yeah.
um and so these tiers, with us finding out what they're going to lead to, this would be like the third kind of magical power to help defeat evil
Yeah.
with Zelda and Link. Because
Hmm.
the light arrows has always been a thing with the Legend of Zelda series ever since the NES version.
Yes.
They have. The only difference is that in the NES version, Link had the light arrows to use against Ganon,
Hmm.
and then they changed it to where Zelda has the weapon now and everything. So
So, what do you guys think about those flying warships? I saw at least four in that shot,
Hmm.
maybe three, but I thought I saw four. Um, I, I'm
so
curious to see what that was.
but it was that boat one
Yep.
uh that kind of had this Greek mythology look to
Yeah,
it.
it was like a
Is
Greek
it
slash
Zonai?
Viking. Yeah,
Still Zonai
Really?
it could
designer.
be.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you look at it
Okay.
closely in the shot, there's like two or three behind it flying as
And then
well.
later
Anuma.
on, when
Go ahead.
Link is flying with Tiba's son, like up a
Yeah.
trampoline, like ascending in the background,
Yep.
there's another warship.
See,
Mm.
Anuma is being naughty. And the reason I'm telling him that he's being naughty, stop playing around with us, giving us this Kid Icarus idea of what a game could be from the Zelda team. Because if Kid Icarus could look like Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, oh, it's on and popping. Like, oh, y'all would take this Greek mythology and almost translate it to a Breath of the Wild thing. Yeah, I'm here for it. Because it, like, when I was seeing some of the shots, I'm like, oh, this had to be something from some ideas for Kid Icarus. It just
Maybe.
had to be.
I
Um,
don't know. To me, I don't really have any basis behind it. Is that it might be Zonai, and this is
Hmm.
where the Hyruleans have to partner with the Zonai, and that's kind of them kind of preparing for battle, perhaps. I don't know. What do you think, Shane?
I just I'm based on the shot. It has to. It seemed like a friend versus a foe,
Hmm.
but maybe it's a third party that doesn't have an alliance yet. Maybe you have to find help besides the factions that you already know. Um, I don't know. I just
well,
it was interesting.
my question is, where's the Yaku clan at?
Oh, the Yiga clan?
The Yiga clan, where are they
Uh,
at? Because they have not been in any of the trailers. I know it's the dragon looking enemies that was in this trailer, and I'm like, who are y'all? What is this? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm like, he really did like evolve Pokemon at that time. Excuse me.
Oh man. And
Um, go ahead, Shane.
the I was gonna say the the descending in the lasers grid was interesting. That also felt Resident Evil
Yeah.
like to me.
Oof.
I'm wondering if they're like using the Guardian lasers and made some kind of like I don't know, some deep underground dungeon for you to obtain something, and you
I
gotta
don't know,
like
man. That just
get
gives
down.
me anxiety when I saw it.
Yeah.
um,
Yes.
What did you guys think? This stood out to me, and maybe I'm overthinking it. When you hear technically a new voice speaking to
Mm.
Zelda, like, we need to
Ah.
rely on your knight Link and the sword that he wields. Zelda almost looked like she don't remember who Link is. She like looks, she blinks, she's like, Link? I don't know. I just feel like that's not how you go like
and
Link?
she
Oh yeah,
did.
I know him.
She also had that like teardrop tattoo on her face as well. Um,
Yeah.
Probably because she didn't know that owl thing. Okay, from what we seen from 2 trailers ago, when like they was highlighting the hieroglyphics and everything, and you see
yeah,
like this owl, I think that's him. And I think when Zelda finally meets him, she's just like, "What do you know about Link, and what do you know about the Master Sword?" Like
Mm.
we I think there are still hidden secrets from Zelda that she don't know about, that whoever they are, that this other clan is, that's going to help and save the world or whatever. She probably don't know. How do you know about this? I only thought that my dad, who was the king, knew about this.
Mm. That's definitely possible. That's a good thought.
hmm.
Because I'm just
And
like, oh, go ahead, Shay.
I don't know. I just it's swirling in my head, and I know we got a month left, but this is probably the most excited I've been since we've seen trailers for this game, and this makes me very excited to play in May. So I I don't know. I just there's they showed a lot, but there's still like so many questions, and that's what I really enjoyed about today's trailer. So
Hey, who thinks we're getting bosses? Because there's many clips of those that look like bosses to me.
oh yeah,
We are.
yeah,
We're getting a lot of bosses. I
Bet
think
that
we're going to have more bosses
that
in here.
icy guy that was in like the swirly snow
yeah,
tornado, that looked terrifying. A massive construct that didn't look very friendly. The Gliok again, man, that Gliok
yeah,
looked epic. So I think
yeah.
that's great.
Was that the tar looking one with the purple?
Yeah, there was that purple shark thing too
Mm.
at the end.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's Georg. Georg's coming back.
because the funny thing is, I was just like, oh, he looks like someone from Splatoon.
Mm.
Hmm.
Well, with the bright colors.
You know, Nintendo loves with their, when it comes to black, they love the evil for them, represent purple represents their evil for them as a company. Uh, man, I wonder how this game is going to start. Like,
Yeah,
like,
I thought of that too. I'm like, what? Man.
like I feel like that the game's gonna start and it's not gonna even say The Legend of Zelda,
And
Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, go ahead, Shay.
and just thinking about it too, and have you guys both played the Hyrule Warriors?
I
The new
haven't.
one,
Edge of,
I
Edge
bought
of
it, but I
Legend
Calamity.
of
haven't.
Calamity.
Yes,
Okay,
I beaten it.
so Ed, and I don't want to ruin it for Stephanie, but there is that thing in that game that uh
You can ruin
kind
it
of
for me. It's okay.
all right. It's like a baby guardian that
Oh,
Yeah.
Terrico.
yeah, that transports you to different places. So there's got to be some connection to that in this game. Uh,
And I don't want to. I mean, Nintendo can be tricky, but I felt like if Terrico was going to be in there, we would have seen Terrico in this trailer. But I know that's not a fact, I guess. But I don't know. I just
Mhm.
felt like they've shown if they've shown off Ganondorf, I feel like they would have shown off Terrico if Terrico was in there. But that's just me.
Well, I think because they haven't shown off the scientists, the brother and the sister.
Oh,
Robbie, yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, I think because they didn't show them off, that Terrico was probably with one of them.
maybe.
it's
And
possible.
probably like, well, where were you at when the first birth of Wild? Maybe he was underground, or they sent him to do some things, and they just never revealed it and everything. And plus, it was 100 years, so
Hmm.
we don't know what happened after Link, or I should say not after. We don't know during that time when Link was was sleeping and everything. What happened during that time?
Yeah, and what, I guess what are your guys' guess for how how far along this is after Breath of the Wild?
Mm.
I think this is probably about 15 to 20 some years. later.
Okay.
Because I think with the new champions being a little bit grown, I think
Yep.
they're still looking young. So I think they kind of grew up in their age and everything.
So does that make Zelda and Link about 120 years old?
Probably. I mean, they're looking young and everything. Mike, I still think that there is a secret villain in this game. I don't think Ganondorf is the final boss in this game.
So now yeah, like you said, they revealed the image of Ganondorf, the official artwork, but you do see the long red hair that reminds you of Demise earlier on. Um, Now that doesn't mean that Ganondorf got a haircut or what could be happening there, but could all these different timelines be converging and we're getting different things from all the games and they're
As
they're
much
going.
as I hate to say it and I don't want that to happen, but part of me thinks that's definitely a possibility. There's nods to Twilight Princess, severe nods to Skyward Sword.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah, and every time I
Yeah,
watch a trailer, I see more and more from the different games just utilized heavily. So
Yeah,
like
because it's
even the airships remind me of like the ghost ships from like
Phantom
you know
Hourglass.
Phantom Hourglass, Wind Waker, you know
because
Tetris ship.
how did they turn this DLC into a full fledged game where it's just like this? It literally, because now I just like after watching this trailer, I'm like, I don't think there's going to be a part 3 to this. Like, how do you top? Tears of the Kingdom just blows everybody mind. How do you top this game to conclude its story?
That's
If
a good point.
Ganondorf is like still alive or whatever.
Well, that and, again, that mysterious voice says, Link is our last hope. I'm like, how can you make a third game and top being the last hope? I mean, the last hope is meant to be the last hope.
Right.
Um, or what was the first part of that question? Because I had something at the tip of my tongue.
Oh,
Uh,
just how this game, how did they
oh,
turn this DLC to a
DLC.
full fledged game like
Well, that
this?
that's the brilliance with the people behind Zelda, because in Breath of the Wild, you only like are vaguely aware of who the Zonai are. You just see a couple structures in the was it the Farron area, and in
Mm.
the creating a champion, there's only like a little
Yeah.
snippet about the Zonai, and here they just take that out and extrapolate it. It's amazing.
hmm Oh,
Uh,
it's gonna be great.
yeah,
So
I just don't know what the and we still got towns that we still need to visit in this game. Go
I
ahead,
guess
Shay.
another thing I thought of is so the portion right after they show the tents
mhm.
and then they show Link climbing and then there's the green spiral coming out of the ground, but there's this round thing sideways in the stone. I don't know why I almost thought that was the like Colosseum and kind of like exploded and went onto
Oh.
its side, and I thought maybe just the whole area has been ravaged and um, the whole maybe earthquakes have been happening and it's been turning up all the different stuff and that's why it looks so different. Um, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to occur, but that just seemed like a part of the Coliseum, and um, I can't wait to see what they do with everything. Like they've had 6 years. This
Yeah.
this is going to be amazing.
And Aonuma said for a second time, "This is an unfamiliar Hyrule." Whatever the
Yep.
F that means, but if he said it twice,
Yeah.
mm, so
Okay, so we are at our last portion of this discussion of this reaction. Are you emotionally prepared for if the game ends on a super sad note to lead into the next game?
yes, I am. I'm ready for whatever they give me. I'm so starved for this game. Um, I'm open to all possibilities. I'm open to the fact that it could be like a Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask, like uh, duology, so to speak. I'm open for it
Mm.
to be a trilogy where this ends horribly. I'm going in embracing it with open arms.
Shay.
Yeah, you can Amazing Spider-Man 2 this for me and kill off Gwen. But like the thing is with Zelda, it's a repeating, recycling cycle. So no matter what happens here, the legend will continue. So
Hmm.
do your worst, make it super sad, make it Life is Strange sad. I don't care. I want I want some good story, and I can already tell the music is epic.
The music.
And I hope the soundtrack comes out and you can buy a 3-4 disc album. I don't care. I want to buy it. Um,
Yes.
just do your worst and make it the best at the same time. So
Okay, so I'm not prepared because I will yell at the game if it does. Because the reason is that okay, yes, it is sad. I know it's leading into a part 3, but we won't get it into Nintendo's next console. And I'm like, oh no, because I don't think we'll get any DLC. And if they decide to do DLC, is that gonna get turned into the third game? Who knows? Like I think in this game I need a happy conclusion
Mm.
and everything. If
mm,
it is a sad conclusion, I'm not gonna be mad at Nintendo. I know it's storytelling. You're leading up to something greater. But I'm like, you guys, if y'all gonna do this, and I know it's gonna be on your next console. You you have to take the time and release this game. Or if they decide to do a third game, you got to do it as a launch game. You cannot have us wait another 6 or 7 years for this game
what
announcement.
I feel
what if it?
confident that it won't take 6, 7 years because we had COVID to factor into it. Not that COVID was the
Mm.
sole reason, but
Oh
that was
Mhm.
yes.
a big factor. And I don't know, like Switch 2, I mean, what's the latest kind of rumor is 2025? I mean, even like I think that'd be
It's
too soon for another
it could
Zelda
be
game, 3D
it could
Zelda
be
game.
well, yeah. I still think we're gonna get a 2D between there. Um, so that would be great.
Please.
Um, yes. Uh, I don't know. I just I what if they decide instead of a third game they create a Zelda movie to end it, or
Mm.
some other medium to finish it off for us.
Where we
I don't know.
all meeting at, so we go all go watch this. Like this is the
Yeah,
boss rush trip that everybody needs to be. Corey, I'm gonna need you to fly out to wherever you at, wherever we having this at. We all need to buy our ticket, sit down,
yeah.
and watch it, and then just be like, let's have a round table before we leave.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I wouldn't. Oh, a
I would
media version.
I would love a maybe a coverage of the 100 years while Link was sleeping, like episodic of what happened to each
Mm.
one of the
Ooh,
champions, and then leading into how the time has passed, and uh, you know it getting stronger in Breath of the Wild, and then leading up to maybe what happened between then and this game, and then after the game. So
that'd be nice.
yeah,
Yes.
let's make it happen.
Well, everybody, that is our thoughts, our reactions to the official trailer to Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. The game releases May 12th, 2023. They cannot delay this game. It is on track to release. We know that the system is dropping on the 28th of this month, and I believe it's the 28th. Uh, yeah. And then, the pro controllers, the game,
Hmm.
the case, all of
Dude,
that's
they
going to be
better
releasing.
have a Ganondorf amiibo. Just saying. Please.
Oh,
Please.
if they said, we got one more announcement to make, just like out of the blue, and they showed that, Oh, I,
Oh,
I need to be on Best Buy website 5 seconds after say we got to get a door for me. I need to get the pre-order. I need
I
I need
want
it
it
right now.
to be bigger, like the Guardian, where he's like summoning
Yes.
right below the blood moon, like the blood
Yes.
moon's above him. That would be so cool. Long hair, you could detach the hair and put different hairstyles
All right,
on.
Nintendo, that's free advice.
Oh, I cannot wait for the fan art to drop. I haven't seen no
Oh,
fan art just
yeah.
yet. I cannot wait for the fan art to drop for this game with just like there, because I was just like, dude, I was just like, I need to steal some of these shots from Nintendo websites and just go and make a poster and send
I,
it to my job and print it out and get it.
I'm kind of glad that they didn't make it 8 tiers, because I feel like we're getting charged $10 a tier, and if they put
Ah,
another tier in there, we'd be paying 80.
love
Oh,
it.
God. Well, everybody, I want to thank you, Shane. I want to thank you, Stephanie, for this discussion. You guys could go check out bossrush.net. Stephanie has a great article up about the trailer, so do check that out. And Eric, guys, we will see each other on May 12th. We're probably going to be like so busy that weekend that it's going to be hard to us to talk to either one of
Yeah,
us. Is be like, did you guys? No, Eddie, don't say anything. No, I'm like, no. Did you just hear the
just
little chime tingle in the
just
soundtrack?
just remember it's Mother's Day that weekend, so
Oh
you got to take some
no!
time out
I mean,
to
I
have
love
your
my
mom play the
mom.
game with you.
Yes.
Well, my
So.
request for my son is you leave mommy alone, please. Well, actually, you know what? No, he loves Zelda, so he can sit next to me and watch me play.
Well, everybody, we will see you next time on the direct recap. Thank you once again, Shane. Thank you, Stephanie, and bye, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Nintendo Power Block is a product of Boss Rush Media, LLC, and is recorded from our headquarters in Akron, Ohio. The show is hosted by me, Edward Varnell. My co-hosts are Corey Derrick and Cordy Yikes. You can find Corey at I am Corey in HD on Twitter and Instagram, as well as hosting the Boss Rush Podcast and Tower Casuals, the Destiny Podcast. You can find Cordy at Cordy_Yikes on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. You can find me at That Richard Cole on Twitter and Instagram. Follow Nintendo Power Block on all social media platforms at Power Block Podcast. You can also follow Boss Rush Media and Boss Rush Network on all major social media platforms. Join the Boss Rush Network Discord and Facebook groups to interact with other friends and fans. Visit bossrush.net for more great content and patreon.com/bossrushmedia to learn how you can support this show. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.